Yeah, what is my project today? Well, if you've been watching my channel and if you've been watching and are a faithful watcher of Video Joe, thank you very much, first off, and thank you for being a subscriber, and you will know that I'm ready to install a ceiling fan here. Now, it almost looks like I could install a light fixture there if I wanted, but heavens no, there used to be a ceiling fan there, and it's always good. If you ever have a chance to install a ceiling fan, go ahead and do that to replace your old light fixture, depending if your light fixture is not in a plastic box and not set up properly to install a ceiling fan. Depending on how heavy your ceiling fan is, you may not want to install it on a plastic box, but funny thing is, this is a plastic box. Look at that. But it's set up, see that cavity there? The electrical goes down in there and it's set up for a light fixture. And so that box, I know, is gonna hold the weight of this light fixture. I'm not even questioning that, okay? Because there used to be an existing ceiling fan up there, and I know that ceiling fan's been up there since day one. This condo is 15 years old, and I know the building inspector would not have allowed the electricians to install a plastic box unless it was a heavy-duty style plastic box and if it was set up for a ceiling fan. Now, most ceiling fans, and that's funny too, because most ceiling fans I've ever seen nowadays, new construction, they have a metal box that is supposed to be installed for an actual ceiling fan. And those metal boxes come in a pancake box style form that has little threads in there all the way up for the mounting screws, not a standard cut-in or not a standard pancake box. And they have some other ones that get installed up in there, you know, for new construction, or if you have an attic above here, you can get up in the attic, take out a plastic box and install a new one, you know, that's set up for a ceiling fan. Okay, but that's not part of this. That's not part of this video because this is all set up for a ceiling fan. Okay, and this is the ceiling fan I'm going to be installing. It's a Harbor Breeze. Hey, do I recommend any particular brands of ceiling fans? Not really. This one just happened to be a Harbor Breeze. We weren't looking for Harbor Breeze. We were just looking for the actual design. Momi kind of liked this design. She wanted this condo to be kind of streamlined, to kind of be, what do you call it? I can't think of the word now. I can't think of the word, but she wanted it updated to be more modern. Okay, and so she liked the silver looks, and we changed the colors of the walls. We changed the color of the ceilings. If you've been watching, you've seen the transition that's gone on, and it's actually coming together quite nicely. She got this the other day, and that kind of cool. And I just hung that up there with some fishing line and up to those little hangers that I put up there. I wanted to get some white ones, and I found those at the store. That's kind of cool. I like that. She liked that too. And so anyways, she wanted something modern. So hey, silver it is. So, and the three paddles instead of 5. Most of them are standard 5. I mean, you can get 3, 4s. You can even get one that's 2, I think. And 2, 3, 4, 5. And then even more than that. The one upstairs I'm going to be installing on another video, you have to watch for it, has 9 blades, believe it or not. 9! Can you believe that? And this one's 52 inch. See, brushed nickel finish. She likes brushed nickel. Everything in here is brushed nickel. The faucet's going to be brushed nickel, the new one. The brushed nickel hardware on the door knobs per se in the kitchen. Brushed nickel. Of the handles, she wanted brushed nickel, so we did that. Brushed nickel on the hinges, we did that. And her fixtures upstairs, brushed nickel. This even looks brushed nickel, doesn't it? And all of her appliances are going to be kind of that brushed nickel look, but it's going to be in stainless steel. but in a stainless steel that you don't see the fingerprints. It's not the fake stainless steel, it's something else, something entirely slightly different than what I've seen. And they claim it's stainless steel, but it's not, it doesn't show fingerprints. Look, she even got the paper towel holder, brushed nickel. She loves that stuff. And so, of course, when we went to the store, she wanted to find a brushed nickel. I didn't think it would look good in here, but you know, son of a gun, I think it's going to look really good because of the light ceiling color, and because all the other finishes, and because the floor is kind of a lighter color, and everything has its place. So, hey, brushed nickel it is. You know, I kept thinking we were going to get something kind of dark. I have no idea what color. You just have to go to the store. They have so many different makes and sizes and shapes and colors. You know, she's got this thing out here. I think we're going to put this upstairs, but I thought, well, maybe we'll get something kind of dark with the same type of fan blade color or something, and get a bronze one or something like that. But I don't think that would have looked right in here. So always look at your existing conditions, and to kind of help you, so when you're at the store, you can kind of look at the different things that maybe will go with everything else in your house, your condo. Of course, hey, we're not set up entirely yet. We're still moving in. We still don't have everything done. Look, I still have to put the quarter round install at the bottom of the baseboard. We still have to get a couch. And we still have to tear this out. We're getting a brand new countertop here later on. 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'm going to put plastic up around here. I'm going to put cardboard down on the floor, and then I'm going to be tearing out this sink, this countertop, the plywood underneath the countertop. Of course, I'm going to make videos of that. And we'll have a nice new transition here, white with marbled type quartz countertops. It's going to look good. Stainless steel sink, a new faucet handle there, new appliances, and then we'll get at that point we'll get the different furniture in here and different things like that. But you know, first things first. Let's get this ceiling fan up. So if you want to watch that, that's coming up. Now, before I take this out of the box, let's just talk about this a little bit longer. The electrical. Now look at this. You got a white wire up there, a black wire, and a red wire, and a copper wire. The copper wire is a ground. And the white is simple, going from white to white, black to black. We'll have that hooked up, but what on earth is that red wire for? Well, that red wire, years ago, they used to install the wiring that way, and the red wire, it might be a red wire up there, it might be a blue wire, it might be a yellow wire, it might be, you know, a colored, different colored wire, but lots of times they'll use red, okay? And that's just a different power wire that goes to a light switch. And we have 3 light switches here. One of these light switches is not for the ceiling fan. One of the light switches is for these 2 these 2 light fixture locations. They used to have a track light up there with a little strip up there. One head was on that one head was on this one. We haven't figured out what we're going to put there, if we're going to even put track lighting up there. We might just put a light fixture with a trim cover on there with no strip, no track for the lighting. Maybe just a head that maybe it looks like a track light head that swivels on its base. Then we can kind of swivel it down to the wall or something like that. I don't even know if they make those. We're gonna have to go to the store and find out. So we know one of these light switches is not for the ceiling fan at all. We got 2 light switches that are gonna be for the ceiling fan location, the old ceiling fan location, because years ago, they would turn the light ceiling fan on right here, and that would throw power up here. Then you have a pole change. The pole change off, high, medium, low, high, medium, low, off, high, medium, low, off, something like that. And that's the only way they used to be able to control your ceiling fan. And so, and then if you had a ceiling fan with a light kit, you would install an additional light switch, and that light kit would be hooked up to the red wire. And then that would come down to the base, to the bottom of the ceiling fan, in case you had a light kit on your ceiling fan, you would hook up that, usually the ceiling fan light kit wire would be a blue wire that kind of came up there, and then you'd hook that blue wire to the red wire only, let's say, and then that would be controlled for your light kit. If you didn't have a light kit, maybe you decided your ceiling fan came with a light kit and you didn't want it, and it came with a nice finish plate, and you put a finish plate here because you didn't want the light there. Then you would, on that red wire, you just would leave the wire nut on there. You wouldn't even hook it up to anything. Okay, see, the wire nut is painted. You just couldn't see that before, okay? And so with our hookup, we're probably not even going to use that red wire at all. We're probably only going to be installing this with the ground wire, the white wire, and the black wire, because I have a feeling there's a sensor module in there that you hook that up to that, and then off of that sensor will be the wires for the light kit and for the high, medium, and low, the reverse, the timer. Some of them come with the timer. I don't know if this one comes with the timer. I don't think it does. The other one we have upstairs that I'm going to install has a timer on it. This one I don't think has a timer, but no biggie. No biggie. We don't need a timer. Okay, so that module will read down to the remote, the handheld remote control. Okay, that's probably a handheld remote. I haven't opened this up yet, and you know, sometimes they have a remote that you just stick into the wall and then you control it there, but most ceiling fans, the remote control is a handheld remote. So then the handheld remote will be that you can control the power to the ceiling fan, the high, medium, low to the ceiling fan, the reverse to the ceiling fan, and the light to the ceiling fan. So that's why I don't think we're going to need that red wire up there. We're just going to leave a that yellow wire nut on the red wire probably. Okay? And so what that means, what does that mean over here? That means that only one of these light switches, the power light switch that goes up to the black and white wire, that's the only switch that we're ever going to use. And we're always going to have to make sure it's in the on position. Obviously, for your handheld remote to work, you have to have power going up to the ceiling fan. So we have to have power up there at all times. So obviously that means if your light switch is turned off, I'm calling it a light switch, but it's really the power switch for the ceiling fan. Let's call it the power switch for the ceiling fan, okay? If the power switch to the ceiling fan is turned off, then we know the ceiling fan is never going to work, will it? Your handheld remote is never going to work until you turn the power for the ceiling fan on. So we're going to have this ceiling fan power switch on at all times. We're never even going to have to go up there and turn that on at all, ever. Do you see what I'm saying? Just keep it in the on position. This one here, if this was the one for the light for the ceiling fan, this one could be for the light for the ceiling fan, or this one could be the light for the ceiling fan, or maybe it's this one for the light for the ceiling fan. Whichever one was for the old light for the ceiling fan, we're never going to use this one again. So it doesn't matter if it's on or off, right? It's just going to be there. It's just going to be a blank switch that we never have to use. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at that big woodpecker. See him? He's on the birdhouse. Look how big he is. We've got a couple different types of woodpeckers here. He's eating the suet. That's why we got the suet there. We have some smaller little dinky woodpeckers too that come up in there, and they just mind themselves and they chop that suet cake down. Oh, he's beautiful. When he flies, you can always tell a woodpecker when they fly because they're underneath of their wings are kind of orangey color. So whenever I see a bird flying along the river or around by the trees and I see that, I know instinctively that it's a woodpecker. Okay. He doesn't usually come out. Usually the small ones will come out if we're sitting out there and if we're quiet. But the big ones, like this big one here, he won't usually come unless we're inside. We've gotten all kinds of little birds flying around. It's fun having something like that. And see, we just got it hooked onto that right off the deck. Okay, keep going. Hopefully we'll get some hummingbirds later. And we've got another feeder. We'll probably put a hummingbird feeder on that one there. That one's for, I forget what she said, what kind of bird. We don't usually see many birds coming over to get to that one. So we may take that one down and put a hummingbird feeder on there later. But we'll get the stellar jays coming down for this and all kinds of different birds. But onward to the ceiling fan. Okay, so that kind of tells you about your light switches. And you know, we're just going to keep the light switch power off. Or you can go to your electrical panel, and if you know which one, well, I'll take the light tester later and we'll figure that out. And you can turn the breaker off if you want. Never work on anything that's hot. But you know what? Can any homeowner, DIY, weekend warrior hook one of these up? Yes. See, there's he was just pecking on that suet. See, he's wiping it off his beak because it's kind of sticky. That suet cake, he loves that stuff. But do you have to be an electrician to do this? No, every ceiling fan comes with directions. They're pretty simple, but you know, are all ceiling fans hooked up and connected the same? Well, kind of yes and kind of no. It's always best to read the directions. So when I get into this, yeah, I'll show you all that kind of stuff if you end up deciding to watch the rest of this, okay? So the ceiling fan light from the old ceiling fan, we're never going to use that. And incidentally, the other ceiling fan that used to be up there, it didn't even have a light kit on it. And so they never had that red wire hooked up to anything ever from day one. But when the electricians came in here, that's the kind of ceiling fan that they had. That they thought, if somebody installs one like that, we want to be ready. So that's why they had 2 light switches. And so, like I say, nowadays they don't do that. They usually just have 1 light switch, the power. And then you use your remote controls for the lights and for the power and the reverse and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if you want to watch that, that's what I'm going to do next. I got to get my my nail bag on and get all set up, and we'll be ready to go. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.